with SM Entertainment's newest announcement, it looks like we have the Avengers of Kpop, with an upcoming group from SM Entertainment called SuperM. Now, this can be a genius move, a middle-of-the-road decision, or utterly fall flat on its face. So in a nutshell, SuperM is basically the merging of stars from different SM Entertainment groups. You have NCT 127's Taeyong and Mark, EXO's Kai and Baekhyun, Taemin of SHINee, and Lucas and Ten of WayV. Now, when Soo-man, the founder of SM Entertainment, announced this move, this would be one of the boldest moves in recent K-pop history. Soo-man would team up with Capitol Records CEO Steve Barrett to have SuperM be based in the US. Now, this new group was announced in an event in Hollywood called Capitol Congress on August 7th. And much like Marvel Studios' mega hit, The Avengers, SuperM would also be the Kpop Avengers, combining the biggest talents in the SM umbrella to form one unified team. So the group thus far looks to be slated for an October debut. Now, predictably, this news shook the K-pop world as Soo-man's a major player in the K-pop industry, and when SM Entertainment makes bold moves, the industry listens. And when Soo-man announced SuperM, he showed that he's willing to pour time, resources, and commitment into cracking the US market. So it's time to answer that big question, the question that even shows up in the title of this video. Will SuperM succeed? My personal take, they could, but I'm very skeptical. Now, as any K-pop fan knows, for the past decade or so, there's been a lot of K-pop groups as well as soloists that have been trying to crack the US market. They wanted a piece of the biggest music market in the world. But other than a select few, nearly all of them have crashed and burned. Nearly all of them have failed. Yet at the same time, SuperM's formation is very exciting to fans of EXO, SHINee, WayV, and NCT, as if the group's talents blend perfectly and the marketing's on point, SM might have something on their hands. So the next question begs, why is SuperM being created in the first place? And I'll take a wild stab at this, and it starts with 3 letters, BTS. Now, I'm thinking that in many K-pop labels' meeting rooms, they have to be salivating and a bit jealous of the fact that Big Hit Entertainment, or BTS's parent company, as well as BTS, has just been dominating the US and world markets. And hey, you can't really blame these K-pop labels because it's nearly every K-pop company's dream to one day crack the US market and have world recognition. And with BTS, they've actually started to slowly become part of the mainstream, where if anyone in the US today hears about K-pop, they usually, almost always actually, refer to BTS and say things like, oh, I've heard of that BTS group before. And I feel that SM Entertainment wants to have that same impact with SuperM. So SM's thinking must be, well, if BTS can do it, there's always room for more K-pop acts. Whereas if BTS was the first K-pop group to actually seep into the US mainstream, that SM wants to follow in their steps and have SuperM be the second group to do so. So why is SuperM a cool idea? Well, going with the Avengers of Kpop theme, there's a chance that SuperM can actually unite the SM fandoms to not hate each other, being fans of different groups. So you can have EXO fans unite with SHINee fans, unite with WayV fans and NCT fans. Or so that's the hope. For much of modern K-pop history, a lot of the K-pop labels actually encourage fan wars, fan fighting. And the reason is that there's only a certain amount of K-pop groups that can be on the top, that can be tier 1. So if SuperM does manage to gel, it can actually go against fandom wars and unite not only the SuperM group, but the SM fandoms as well. Another cool idea about SuperM is that it's stacking individual talent to the greater good. And this isn't new in pop culture, of course. For instance, if you're a fan of the NBA or basketball, you might have liked the 1992 Dream Team, where it had pretty much all-stars and pretty much the best basketball players in the world. If you're a fan of video games, then having all of the Nintendo mascots, as well as from a couple other games, unite in Smash Bros. Ultimate is the ultimate gamer's dream. And of course, if you're a Marvel and comic book fan, then having the most iconic superheroes team up in the Avengers is a comic book fan's dream. And heck, even SM Entertainment isn't new to this idea, as they once had SM The Ballad, which combined some of their best vocalists into this group. I also thought of the whole Avengers theme, where this group is trying to avenge the whole K-pop stereotype that K-pop is all about overworked idols, or pretty girl and boy groups with no substance, or bubblegum pop, or just strange music. And I feel that maybe the Avengers of K-pop might want to rewrite that script, that K-pop is cool. It's not as weird as some Westerners think it may be. And of course, there's also the international factor. For instance, you have Mark from Canada, Lucas from Hong Kong, Ten from Thailand, and the rest from Korea. It definitely has an international flavor, and SM Entertainment has admitted that the international angle is one of the big reasons why SuperM was formed. And last, this provides an opportunity for each individual group to get more exposure. SuperM could reignite interest and hype in each SuperM's singer's original group. So now it's why I'm skeptical, and I don't think I'm the only one. And the biggest one that I have is that SuperM skipped the organic growth phase. Let me explain. So when BTS, the gold standard for cracking into the US, came about, it was actually years in the making. They got popular in Korea, much of Asia, and then came out to the West. How? It was largely because of their fandom, also known as ARMY, which pretty much spread every single post on social media and made every one of BTS's music videos go viral. And BTS got so much attention that eventually, through word of mouth and through just a lot of hype, that Western companies started calling for BTS to come over to the US and the West. It had a lot of organic growth where BTS started here, but then quickly catapulted themselves into stardom. And you know the story from there. They have a strong foothold in the West. Now contrast this to SuperM. It feels like to the average American, the average Westerner, the non-K-pop fan, SM just dumped SuperM into the US, and there's no point of reference. And unless you're a K-pop fan living in the West, you don't know who these people are. And that's because they skipped the organic growth phase where they had fans promote their stuff, their music went viral on social media and went trending, and then the West invites them. Yeah, they skipped that whole step. And that's kind of scary because organic growth might not look sexy. It might not look like it's a cool thing to talk about, but it's one of the most important things in marketing. Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna go with SM. Maybe they know something that I don't. I felt that Big Hit Entertainment and BTS did it right. Another big reason that I'm skeptical is that SuperM is slated to come out sometime in October of 2019. And I heard that BTS might release a new music video in that time as well. And if there's one thing you don't want to do, especially when getting started in a new market, in this case the US for SuperM, is that you don't want to go against the dominant juggernaut. In that case, the dominant group is without question BTS. And you really don't want to go against the reigning kings when you're just starting out, no matter how talented your singers are or how popular they are in Asia. And again, if BTS is coming out with something in October 2019 or around that time, it's really setting up SuperM to a horrible start. A better way to promote SuperM is to release them when they're not doing it the same time BTS is in October. And of course, there's one last concern where some fans think that the Avengers of Kpop is a cheesy tagline, and I can see where they're coming from. I personally don't mind it too much because I see that SM is just trying to go off that Avengers theme that Marvel had, and Marvel just recently came out with Endgame, so they're trying to piggyback on that Avengers train that happened earlier this year. So with all that being said, and despite my skepticism, I'm interested to see where SuperM and SM Entertainment takes this. I actually do want to see them succeed because I want to see K-pop succeed in the West and the world. I want to see K-pop go mainstream and not just have people think that it's just this weird form of music from Asia. So with that being said, it is an exciting time to be a K-pop fan, and Soo-man just made it more interesting with the announcement of SuperM being based in the US. It's definitely going to be an interesting experiment that a K-pop group is going to be based in the US and promote exclusively here in the West. So with SM Entertainment putting a lot of resources and time into this new group, we might be seeing more K-pop labels follow suit, come out West, and perhaps have their own K-pop group based in the US. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'd love to know your thoughts on, well, SuperM. And if you guys like what we do here at Pop Story in talking about in-depth K-pop, please hit the subscribe button below, as well as the notification bell. And if you guys like real talk on K-pop journalism and what K-pop is really like, then please download my free ebook by signing up for my email list below. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy, guys.